The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed Studio Friday morning. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different. Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene here. You are in the Sportsocracy, and welcome everybody in to the chat box. Hit that subscribe button, share it out with your friends as well. We're going to do game previews today, going over all the games in the NFL. Who's got the chance to pull a shocker like the Miami Dolphins did last night on Thursday Night Football?
Wasn't a shocker.
Yeah, it was. Stop that.
You got to turn my board back on.
Stop that.
It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries.
Just because you had them against the 8.5-point spread doesn't mean that you saw them beating the Baltimore Ravens last night.
You can neither confirm nor deny that because I never said it out loud. I just said I was taking the Miami Dolphins plus the 8.5. The rest of it is between me and God.
I just want to start off this show by saying I hate Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football sucks.
Everyone should hate Thursday Night Football.
And I hope it disappears.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
I know it's not gonna, because as it showed, we will watch. We will watch any NFL game you put on Thursday.
The Jacksonville Jaguars could play the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you would watch the shit out of it.
Oh, 100%.
You know why? Because there's nothing else on television. Because if you don't watch that, you have to watch Rudy Gobert getting pissed off that somebody was going rum-tum-tugger on his shorts.
or you got to watch North Carolina and Pitt.
In a monsoon.
Oh, God. It was so bad at the end of the game.
In that,
yeah, they did.
Oh, it's all going hunky-dunky. Pittsburgh scores in overtime and deluge.
Yep. The nor'easter came through right as soon as the Tar Heels got the ball in overtime, and, of course, there was no grip to be had on the ball, and Sam Howell threw an awful interception at the end of the game. What were you supposed to do, though? Your offensive line broke down on you, and you just tried to heave it as far as you possibly could. Gosh, it's such a heartbreaker, but I told you I had a feeling that Pittsburgh was going to cover that spread, and they did.
Well, and here's the thing. A lot of people ask draft questions of me. Last night just reaffirmed to me that Sam Howell's the number 1 quarterback in this class.
Okay.
I did bump Kenny Pickett up 1 spot.
You should.
So Kenny Pickett went from 5 to 4. Mm-hmm. He is now my 4. Mm-hmm. In between the two of them are Carson Strong and Malik Willis.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I got that wrong. Kenny Pickett went up to 5 because in between Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett are Matt Corral, Malik Willis, and Carson Strong. I have Kenny Pickett at 5.
Okay. It was a fun game, and you got to give the Tar Heels credit. This Tar Heels team, they do not give up. They never give up, and they are always pressing at the end of the game. The problem is they're always pressing at the end of the game.
Hold on, before we go further. Ayo, chill. We're like a AA meeting for sports. Much love for the kind words. After all the shit I took on Facebook yesterday, it's nice to hear somebody say something nice. It's what love feels like. I had two of the new American Gladiators, Nitro and Razor, coming at me, and it's well shit.
Oh, darn it!
I swear I will lose so much sleep tonight. I will. That is just. I will be. God, I will.
It'll definitely put a burr in your saddle when you wake up, though. He has been cantankerous ever since this thing.
Here's the thing. All right, because there's just certain things in this life I cannot handle. All right, and attacking you is one of them. I don't know why. You're like the little brother that, because you won't defend yourself, and it pisses me off. Mm-hmm. And then I can't defend myself to the level I want to because of professional courtesy. Because personally, if it wasn't for, ESPN and iHeart and all those things, I'd just tell you to go fuck yourself. But they really, absolutely 100% frown upon that.
Yes, they do.
They really don't like it when you do that.
Yes, they do.
So
I don't ever see the need.
See, but I do.
See, that's who
I am. It's a deficiency of me as a person. I have to have the last word.
Oh, I get it. And I have been in this business for 20 damn years. if you cannot just, take the criticisms from people or people throwing shots at you and just throw it away, you will drive yourself insane.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't care about the shots. You can take all the shots at me you want because I don't care.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to look directly in this camera, and this is I'm going to cut this out, and this is going to be my response to any person that says anything about me.
Okay.
I literally talk about sports for a living. Have some of the best sponsors in the world.
Yep.
Smoking hot wife, great life. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
But when you take shots at him, I get really pissed because I know he won't defend himself.
And I love you for that.
And it just makes me want to choke you just aggressively. You stop.
And I love you for that. But yeah, anyway, it was another gross Thursday night football game. I'll be honest with you. I saw what, 6 points scored in this game. I didn't make it to the fourth quarter.
Oh,
I was so drained from yesterday that I just passed out and didn't make it to the fourth quarter, and that's where all the craziness happened. Where the Miami Dolphins defense stepped up, made some turnovers, and they capitalized.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's what I noticed last night. And if I was a Baltimore Raven fan, I wouldn't take much from last night. But there's one thing that would bother me. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson didn't have a second move. Miami figured out he cannot figure this out. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know who's coming from where. He can't set the protections, and off he goes. Javon Holland and Brandon Jones both broke the record in the next-gen era of blitzes by safeties. Both of them.
Yep.
And Javon Holland had 4 more than Brandon Jones did.
Mm-hmm.
That is, to me, a template of how to beat the Ravens moving forward. Now, do I think John Harbaugh and Greg Roman are going to come together and figure out, well, this is what we're going to do when you do that? Because they have a slew of receivers that are really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it would make me nervous that a very, very basic game plan really rattle Lamar Jackson. The other thing that would bother me is that they couldn't get out of the huddle. They spent every third down lining up with 4 seconds to go, and then Lamar's just sitting there like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
That would be unsettling to me because that means there's some
communication issues.
Well, communication issues, and there's some second guessing of the play call.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, hey, this is how we beat this. But as Stephen Tao said, I'm not stressed even a little bit. I don't think you should be.
Mm-mm.
To me, this was a predictable outcome. Now, did I think they would dominate this game the way they did? No. But was it predictable that they were going to cover the touchdown? Yeah.
All I can say is finally. Finally, we see the Miami Dolphins defense have a little bit of gumption. Over the last 3 games, they've been really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, Xavier Howard, he's been on record saying that, after the initial struggles of the season, they've gone back to a bunch of packages that they used last year that made them one of the toughest defenses to face last year because of all of the turnovers that they were able to create. Just why screw with the plan? If the plan was working last year, why would you not continue to do the things that made you successful? I don't know. I'm not the playbook guy. I'm not the X's and O's guy. All I can say is, what took you so long?
Well, I mean, this was just a good defensive game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, here's the thing. Stephen Tao said he's not worried. Here's why you shouldn't be worried. There are not many teams in the NFL that have a secondary like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many that have a Javon Holland and a Brandon Jones coming off the edge with a Xavier Howard back there. So that's a game plan that's not replicable for a lot of teams you're going to play, namely the Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't have 2 corners like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that I would take away. Ask Alice said in the comments, I hope Miami can sustain the success. I saw in Miami last night what everybody else saw going into the season. I had reservations about Miami because of Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, he came in, played great.
Yeah, he did. He's starting to show the growth. That's what I've been trying to tell you is like these 300, 400-yard games that he put up before he got injured. I was seeing growth in that. And now he comes in last night, and now it's no doubt that even with the bum finger on the throwing hand, he's better than Jacoby Brissett. By leaps and bounds. He's better
than Jacoby Brissett. I still don't think he's a high-level starting NFL quarterback.
And he may not be, but I also feel like he's a quarterback that is not going to completely tank your chances to win like
Cam Newton.
He wasn't.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I did that again. Damn it.
I was going to say like he was at the beginning of the season and like he was many times last year when we saw the yo-yo of the starting quarterback between Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not that guy. I think he has grown, and I think this is his job regardless.
I agree. It's certainly his job.
Unless they make a play for Deshaun in the offseason, and then we'll have to wait and see.
I'm so tired. I'm more tired of talking about Deshaun Watson than I am talking about Cam Newton.
Well, we don't.
That tells you anything.
We don't need to talk about it. I'm just saying that's still a possibility.
Agreed.
That I would take Deshaun over Tua 180 times out of 180. So
Agreed.
But 22-10 last night, Dolphins get the win. It was, it's cool to see. Part of me hates all of this topsy-turviness that we had. We had all the upsets last week, and now we had another one on Thursday Night Football. Part of me hates it, but then the other part of me goes, this is why the NFL's interesting. This is why the NFL keeps us tuned in, because even though you believe one team is way more dominant than the other team, it's any given Sunday, man. I know that's the biggest cliche in the history of the NFL, but it's absolutely true. It's why it keeps getting said.
And having said in the comments, can we admit the Ravens' defense is just not that good? It's not.
They're not.
It's not. They got burned on one of the worst pre-snap adjustments I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. The Albert Wilson 50-yard completion that got them down, that was basically the clincher of the game. Mm-hmm. That's one of the worst pre-snap adjustments I've ever seen. And it was so bad that I don't definitively know who it was on. Mm-hmm. I think I know with the alignment, because I watched that play like 10 times trying to figure out what exactly was your plan here. Who boo-boo kiddied this? Mm-hmm. Patrick Queen is the one I finally resolved myself to. But now you're getting into a defensive alignment problem because you should never have Patrick Queen on Albert Wilson.
Right.
Especially not on the outside.
Right. I thought that Miami was going to move the ball well within the 20s, but they're not a great red zone team.
No,
and so
not.
I didn't think that they were going to be able to score a whole lot of points last night, and I was surprised at how they were able to neutralize Jackson with all the pressure.
Just got to say this, in a league where I have Nick Chubb and I desperately need a win, chose a real good week to play against Lamar Jackson, Mike Gesicki, and Myles Gaskin.
Yeah. How about your boy Robert Hunt, too?
Oh, yeah.
That damn screenplay was incredible.
If you don't figure out a way to get him the ball after seeing that, first of all, here's number one question I got to ask. How in the fuck does he see that ball coming and go, yep, that's for me? Mm-hmm. Let me go get that. Because it's not like it just hit him in the lap. He went and got it.
Yeah, he did.
Myles Gaskin just looked at him like, the fuck are you doing right now?
Because Robert Hunt knows the game is best in my hands.
Robert Hunt.
I love him so much.
If you remember 2 years ago when we were doing pre-draft analysis, I loved me some Robert Hunt.
Yes, he did.
And I still do. Because he's a big old dancing bear. By the way, did you see him grabbing for the ball on the ground? It looked like me trying to grab this bell. Just like, mine. My ball.
Old ham hands over here.
God, that dude's got some paws on him.
Uh-huh.
That was if you don't find a way to get him involved after that, you're doing it wrong.
Well, now that you've shown it, though, and it got called back, like now it's a.
Well,
now,
they didn't
now
show
it's
it. He was playing guard. There was nothing intentional about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But now that you've shown that
he
Matt
can do
Hoppen
it.
asked, is that the dude that flipped in the end zone? Yes. And he didn't really flip in the end zone. So much as somebody saw his big ass coming and went, I don't have anything for that. Go with the knees. Ooh, look at this big fucking gorilla bear thing, man bear pig coming at me.
the gorilla man bear pig.
Robert Hunt is like 6'7", 330, I believe. Mm-hmm. And what is a corner going to do with that? Go with the knees. That's all I got. That's what he did.
Yep.
Old ham hands.
Old ham hands, Robert Hunt.
He does. God, I loved him. I still love him.
Yeah.
You know the thing that pisses me off the most with the Dolphins? I looked at their line at one point last night and I went, you have 4 of 5 starters that I absolutely loved and your line has sucked nutsacks. How is that possible? By the way, Austin Jackson should not be playing guard. Mm-hmm. Just throwing that out there. Not trying to get too analytical, but we do that during draft time. But shit, every time I looked at him, I was like, Liam Eichenberg's he's a right tackle. Brian Flores. Stupid Brian Flores.
I don't know. The first comment on the thread today from Ronnie George was that he thought last night showed that Brian Flores ain't that bad of a coach after all.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Oh, Patrick Holt. We do have a question.
Yeah.
We've forgotten this twice.
Before we get into the game previews, we should talk about this.
So I am often accused of being a lot of things that I am not.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a marijuana person.
Yep.
So I have never understood what I'm getting ready to say. And I see a lot of comments in the chat, so I felt like this would be a good question to ask you, our what's the word from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Constituency.
Yeah.
Our constituency.
Is you is or is you ain't my constituency.
How much do you have to love drugs to be driving that? Because this happened to somebody that we know.
Mm-hmm.
To get a clean urine sample, be driving down the road with it in your lap, running the heater. You thin it so much that it bursts in your lap. And now you are wearing someone else's urine.
Yeah.
How much do you have to love drugs to not go, maybe I shouldn't do that?
And it wasn't like this is the most powerful car heater on the planet. It was with the fact that the car heater was running, but the person also had one of those hand warmer things in their pocket, and it broke while they were on the road. And it got so hot that it melted the bag. And the urine goes
just
all over their lap.
And their resolve was, well, next time I need to not run both at the same time. Right. My resolve was, maybe you should not do crimes. Don't do drugs. Like that. And look, for me, I am the weirdest. I have never in my life done any of those things. Mm-hmm. I am a beer head. Mm-hmm. I have never been a pothead. I've never been anything else. I really enjoy alcohol. But if you told me that ESPN said we're going to test whether you've been drinking alcohol or not, which would be weird because we're sponsored by a brewery, I would never go, hey, I need to fill a condom or a balloon or a stick of some kind with someone else's excrement and hold it in a hoodie pocket to get away from that. I would just stop drinking.
I don't think you would. I really don't think you would.
I haven't drank a beer in 2 weeks. Trust me. My wife's in the comments.
This is true.
She will verify this. If it was have someone else's urine in a container on my person or no more beers, it's no more beers. Looks like we're drinking some Arizona sweet teas and some bags moving forward.
Look, right. Like, I mean, we've all been through this. We've all been at jobs where you had to be drug tested. And if you went out and partied the week before or something like that, you need to come up with a big excuse as to why you can't participate in the drug test.
By the way, Kelvin Joyner, if we don't put that on a shirt, we did it wrong.
What?
His comment was, if you can't pass a plan to piss test, you're doing too many drugs.
Yeah.
I want that on a shirt. If you've ever said, hey, can I hold some pee-pee? You're doing too many drugs. Like, your drug intake is like a 9. And at best, it needs to be like a 4.
I had a buddy of mine, so, we're on the job. You got the test coming up. And, of course, he's a big pothead. And so he starts asking friends for samples. Like, can you help me out? Because I'm going to fail this test coming up. He was able to secure some clean. And the problem was when he gave it to the tester, they ran it and they did the analysis and the report comes back.
Oh, God, I know what you're about to say.
He was pregnant. Yeah. He's pregnant.
Yeah, I've actually heard
he was pregnant.
I've heard that tale one time before.
And I've heard that as well. And I thought, you can't be that stupid. And then it happened to someone I know. And I went, brother, Do you not think that they can
analysis.
somehow tell? Yeah, and it was news to her because she didn't know she was pregnant. But like, come on, man. Come on.
Hold on. You just said something that has led me down a whole nother path.
Okay.
We're going to get to game previews, I promise. How does that conversation happen? Nobody in my entire life has ever asked me that.
Okay.
Ever. I have never had somebody walk up to me and go, "Hey, big man, let me hold some of that. let me hold some of that tinkle. Can I get a little tinkle?" Nobody has ever said that to me.
I mean, have you worked in an office where you had a bunch of people who did drugs?
Yes, I was an executive for a friggin' multinational corporation. Okay, we did drug tests a lot.
But you were a boss too, weren't you?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
See, you don't ask your boss. You don't go up to your boss and be like, "Hey man, I'm really not going to be able to pass this piss test. Can you please help me out? Because I know you don't do drugs." Okay,
so I got to tell you this story. I used to have a rule with people that worked for me. That if you called in and you made me laugh, I would just deal with it because I don't laugh very often.
Yeah,
Tank will verify this. My wife will verify this. I laugh less than any comedian that you've ever met in your life. I had somebody call in dead. They called in. I had one call in dead and I had one call in gay.
Call in dead.
Yeah, one. Yeah, it's the two funniest things I've ever heard in my life. The one that called in dead said, "I'm dead, but in a Christ fashion, I will rise on Sunday and be back for Monday."
What?
I literally laughed until I almost put a drug sample in my pants.
Yeah.
I almost tinkled on myself. The other one, I can't really discuss that one. I said it once, and I've gone as far as I can, but you can just assume where that went. Hilarious.
Called in gay.
Yeah. I just can't stop. Just can't stop.
Gay.
Can't stop. Just been doing it all morning. And literally.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Oh god. And it went on for like 4 minutes. It was a voicemail. I saved it for years. One of the 4 funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Just couldn't stop taking it.
Yeah.
Got to have all of it right now and can't make it to work.
Just figured it out this morning. That's how it started. Just figured it out this morning. Can't stop.
I mean,
I laughed. I literally laughed until I almost pissed on myself.
Look, wow.
Jason
I mean, if
Trump
you just discovered it and it's readily available to you, I mean, I guess that you gotta.
Oh, they were totally kidding.
Of course they were.
Yeah, dude was married with 2 kids. That's what made it so funny to me.
You never know. Don't judge.
Jason Trump said, as a father of 3 and clean-looking dude, I can say I would get asked what seemed like monthly.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone ask me that.
Yeah.
Ever.
I've never had
somebody that I sent for a drug test and they looked me dead in the face and went, "I'm not going to pass that."
Yeah.
And I went, "Well, when was the last time you did drugs?"
10 minutes ago.
And they looked at their watch and went, "About 20 minutes ago."
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
Right.
That's good to tell the boss.
Right.
That's my hiring processes at that point. I called into question aggressively.
There was a time in my life when people, I have been asked that question. And my response was, I have never passed a drug test, so I don't know that I can help you out with that. I told you about this, the story of the poppy seed muffins made me pop on that's the only drug test I've ever taken. Because, I mean, well, that's not true. I had to take one for the other job where the guy had the girl pee. All right,
now I've now been asked in the comments 3 times to hold. Apparently, I'm sitting on liquid gold here.
Okay,
just the sheer fact that other than alcohol, I got nothing. I'll tell you another one that was funny, and then we'll move into game previews. I swear. I had to take a test, and I don't remember where I got hired for, but mine came back like. My blood alcohol level was like 0.10. And they went, "When did you stop drinking?" And I went, "I don't know, like 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. How many beers did you have?"
All of them.
A bunch. A few. More than 1, less than 20.
I mean, here's the thing. If you know it's coming, it's easy to plan for. If it just gets sprung on you, that's a different story.
And then I unprovoked just said,
"These tomatoes aren't even ripe."
They just let me go.
Somebody said earlier, who was it? Was it Rob Johnson? Yeah, Rob Johnson said that he gets random drug tested, and they check all your pockets to make sure that you don't have some on you. Like, who just randomly carries that around for emergencies? I mean, I guess if you have a job where they random test, you kind of got it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to run to my car real quick.
Hold on. I need to go drink some water in my car.
Do you have a stash like under the toilet in the bathroom or something at your work? Do you have to go and MacGyver get into the ceiling tiles or something to get your pee stash just in case? I've never understood that.
Patrick Holt said it should be legal everywhere. I don't disagree with you, and I don't even use it.
It absolutely should be legal everywhere.
I think solely because I don't care. That you will learn this about me. I am the weirdest politically leaning human you'll ever meet in your life, because I don't give a damn what you do. I don't care if you smoke all the drugs. I don't care if you sleep with 9 people at the same time. I do not give a shit. I could give a damn less. But if you mess with my money, we're going to have a problem. Which is why all political parties hate me, and that's why we don't talk about politics on the show.
Armchair says Canada just has it in the stores.
I mean, they do that all over the place here. They have dispensaries all over the place in this country. They just don't here.
Oh, I thought you were like, I was like, what stores are you going to? Because, I mean, is this like the bodega down the street that I don't know, there's a secret back room or something?
I did own a CBD shop at one point. I've owned some stuff. I've had a weird life. I'm going to write a book. I think it'd be a great book.
Go all Godfather to pass a drug test.
100%.
What the hell does that mean?
Guns. I don't know if he's talking about Godfather the movie or Godfather the pro wrestler. Either way, funny.
It's right beside the maple syrup. Patrick Holt, good for you.
Canada's a fun place. Why do you think we're so popular in Canada?
Yeah.
How else can you take this show other than getting really high and just laughing a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready to talk about games
now?
I am. That went so much further down a rabbit hole than I thought it was going to.
It did, but it's totally important that we talk about the important things in life. And these are, we're solving all the world's problems. And I'm okay with that.
Dude Man Bro said never got a hangover on the wacky tobacco. That's a good point you got there.
Mm-hmm.
All you get is the Funyuns.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, we got Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Let's kick it off here with their game previews for Week 10 in the NFL. The Colts going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just pulled off the upset of the century, beating the Buffalo Bills this past week, 9-6. Can they keep it going? Can the defensive pressure that they showed get after Carson Wentz?
I really aggressively want to take Jacksonville here, but I can't. I can't. The way this sets up, I can't do it because Jacksonville just won the game that they weren't supposed to. This is on the road. They're a bad team. I can't take Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. This is one of those weeks where, last week was super unstable. Oh, shit. What's happening? Every game's all these. Not this week. You know what tends to happen when those weeks happen? The next week, we go chalky McChalk pants.
Reclamation week.
And that is what I think happens this week. 89% of the money in Vegas on Indianapolis.
As it should be.
Against the number.
As it should be. Indianapolis is a 10.5-point favorite, and I honestly don't think that's enough. When was the last time the Jacksonville Jaguars won a game on the road? Not neutral site.
Ooh, that's a fun question.
Obviously, they just won one in London.
Let's see. This year, they won one in London and one in Jacksonville. Last year, they won week 1 against these Colts in Jacksonville and didn't win another game. So you're at least 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been at least 2 years since they've won a road game.
12 games in a row. They are 0-12 on the road since 2019.
Do you know who the last team they beat on the road was?
The Chargers.
This is shocking.
I have no idea.
The Oakland Raiders.
I was close.
That's a team that doesn't exist anymore. They don't exist anymore.
Right.
Before that, they had only won 2 games on the road in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a good team on the road. To me, this one's pretty easy. I like Carson Wentz in this game aggressively. I just don't see. I don't see how Jacksonville is going to replicate what they did last week. Buffalo was on their last limbs of the offensive line, so the pass rush was getting home. I don't think that's going to happen with the Colts.
No, the Jaguars are going to have to defend the hottest player in the NFL right now.
The one thing that makes me nervous about this game is the hook. I would love for this to be 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
The fact it's 10.5 makes me a little nervous, but not nervous enough to take Jacksonville. I'm going Indianapolis Colts minus the 10.5. I will go under the 47.5.
I don't see how you're going to stop Jonathan Taylor.
No, I don't either.
He is the beast of all beasts right now in the NFL, in my opinion. He has a 6-game touchdown streak, and he has scored multiple touchdowns in 2 of those games and has gone over 100 yards rushing in 4 of them. I don't see how you stop them. I got Indianapolis as well.
What's your take on the over-under? You going over or under 47.5?
You know what? I'm going to go over.
You're going over?
I'm going over. I could see this being a 35-10, 35-16. I don't know.
To be honest with you, this is the part of this game that I like the best.
Mm-hmm.
My market on this is off by about 1.5. I had this at 45.5. So, to me, it's too high. I don't think Jacksonville is going to contribute to that number much.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going Indianapolis under the 47.5.
Under 47.5.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll be honest with you, I could see that game being competitive for a quarter, but I think at some point Jonathan Taylor is just going to overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are going to look at the stats and go, well, the Jaguars are actually not that bad against the runs because nobody's had to run on them. They've been so easy to throw on that you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those misleading stats.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jonathan Taylor a lot in this game.
All right, the Cleveland Browns are at the New England Patriots. Jeremy, you had the Browns last week against the spread, but nobody expected them just to beat the hell out of their opponent last week.
I mean, nobody expected them to beat Cincinnati that way.
Right.
If you did, you're a witch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're that team. I really don't. I think for me, this is more, I look at New England and go, I have yet to see you beat a really good team.
Right.
I saw you beat the Chargers. But I look at the Browns and go, I could see this game going a lot like Dallas did. But I don't think they're going to struggle to get in the end zone. I do think Nick Chubb's going to play in this game. Don't ask me why.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep saying he's vaccinated, and I feel like they're telling me that for a reason. If he hits a negative test today, he can hit one tomorrow and play on Sunday.
Yep.
So, and we have not heard whether he's done that or not. You usually don't hear that until it's done.
Mm-hmm.
If Nick Chubb doesn't play, it changes a little bit. But, I mean, I like Dearness Johnson.
I don't like Cleveland in this game regardless.
And it's a Bill thing. I get it. This is to me, this number sucks.
2.5.
This should have been a pick 'em at worst.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland is markedly better than New England at damn near everything.
Agreed. But there's something about playing in Foxborough. There's something about Bill Belichick against bad quarterbacks. Nobody believes in Baker Mayfield, and they shouldn't.
Chuck G said in the comments, this is Jeremy's hell game. Browns Pats on an eternal loop.
Yeah.
That is my definition of hell.
Yeah.
Is I get to watch football, but it's only the Browns and the Patriots all day, every day for the rest of eternity.
Mm-hmm. I like the Patriots to cover the 2.5 at home. To me, it's just, I don't know that Cleveland can replicate what they did last week. New England is just a very physical football team, and they're going to nasty you out. And I think it stays close, and I think it's gross. I think it's like 17-14.
There is this myth that this defense is really good. This defense is really good against bad offenses. At the end of the day, it's not a bad offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see New England get a little bit unveiled this week.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. I don't think currently their pass to run ratio is about 60-40. That's not sustainable with Mac Jones. It's not. And this is a defense that can hurt your feelings. This Cleveland Brown defense is very talented.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting JOK back.
They are.
Yep.
And he's a big fucking part of this to me. Because he is an elite level linebacker in the slot that just allows you to do multiple things.
Yep.
I'm not saying you're going to confuse Mac Jones. I just could see his physical limitations being too much to get past in this game.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm catching 2.5.
Yep. I really don't like this game for Cleveland if Nick Chubb doesn't play. If he does play, it does kind of make me leery about taking New England to cover. But
what's your over-under? It's 45.
Under.
I'm going to – you know what? I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say over.
Okay.
Not by much, but narrowly. Just a little bit.
I think this is a gross game.
I
would have taken the under if it was 30.
You shouldn't do that. I'll go ahead and tell you shouldn't do that. There will be points scored in this game.
Okay.
I have not I did check it, but I don't remember it. It's going to be nominally cold. Like 45. So weather's not really – this is not Foxborough yet. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about the home field advantage in Foxborough. It's not 6 degrees yet. And you know what? I don't buy Bill in this team. They come in and beat the hell out of Cleveland. Monday I'll have to fait accompli.
Problem is Cleveland's got to go to them, and that's where I think it tips.
Yeah, and see, to me, that's a much bigger deal with a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I look at both these teams and go, they're different, varying levels of average.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, very rarely do I say I think I get the better quarterback with Baker Mayfield. Baker can at least challenge you deep. I haven't seen Mac Jones do that.
Right.
And I'm looking at this defense going, I don't know how you're going to beat them with that level of corner that they have on the other side, with nobody that can really challenge you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not – who you scared of? Nelson Aguilar? He's going to draw Greg Newsome, who's been one of the best rookies in the NFL.
Right.
You have J.O.K. as a piece that you can move around. There's just a lot of moving parts here. I'm taking the Browns. I'll go over the 45.
All right, the Dallas Cowboys got thumped last week by the Denver Broncos in their own house. This week, they're staying home, and the Atlanta Falcons are coming to town. And I don't like this for Atlanta one little bit.
No, this is one that seems to be getting really popular at taking the dog. And I'm not sure I get why.
Well, people are believing that Atlanta has found something and that they're at least competitive in every game. And don't really know how that's happening. I really have no true explanation for why that's happening. And I mean, yes, they have offensive pieces and they can score a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, on the season, they're 5 points in the red on their averages. They give up 27 points a game, only score about 22 points a game, but they do have some interesting pieces that you can't ignore. Cordero Patterson, we've said this time and time again, he's become like the best little weapon in the NFL now.
And what is the cure-all for somebody like that? An unbelievably fast linebacker, which is what Micah Parsons is, and it's what this team has a copious amount of.
Which makes me wonder what they're going to do with Micah Parsons in this game. Are they going to play him at linebacker, or are they going to put him on the defensive line like they've been doing?
They'll move him around.
Okay.
He's going to move around.
Right. I mean,
here's the thing.
The injury to Randy Gregory really has an impact here because without Gregory and Lawrence is still out. And so Micah Parsons is going to have to fill that role on the defensive line. I think Atlanta is going to be able to move the ball. What's the over-under on this game?
I'm not as sure of that. It's spot on. It's 54.5. To me, it is spot on.
Yeah, it is. I'll take the under on that. But
I'm going to take the over, but very begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing: a guy that knows the opposing quarterback pretty well is orchestrating the defense.
Yeah, that's another part of this.
I mean, you got Dan Quinn over there as the defensive coordinator for Dallas. He's pretty familiar with Matt Ryan, pretty close with Matt Ryan too. They had a very good relationship when he was the head coach there. I think he's going to be able to game plan against him. I don't like Atlanta's chances to keep this within the 10 spread.
I don't either. If this was 10, I would be more nervous because I think that's about where this is going to lay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this at 34-21.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going just narrowly. I think they hit the over-under spot the fuck on.
Okay, so you're going over.
But just narrowly.
Yeah, I'll be on the other side of that. I'll take the under. Err on the side of caution for me.
Havoc has a great point in the comments. Don't fool yourself into thinking the Falcons are anywhere near as physical as the Broncos. That's what the Broncos did. They out-physicaled them.
Yep.
You're not going to catch that here.
You
mix that game You mix the game last week where Dallas got just pushed around. You mix that with the fact that that's not what Atlanta does. You're coming off that, and this is in Dallas. Mm-hmm. All of those things together make me go, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys as well.
I think Vegas has this so pegged, though.
It would appear so. The Buffalo Bills are in New York to take on your Jets.
J-E-T. Oh.
No.
It's the...
But you should be excited. Mike White's back.
Tom Brady 2.0. He is coming to save the day.
No, he is not. Look, Buffalo goes on the road last week, and then they got, they fell victim to just overlooking an opponent, I think.
I would agree with that.
Do you think they're going to do it 2 weeks in a row?
No, and this is a division game.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that they're not going to have a little bit of extra fire because they just got embarrassed? No.
Had the Bills not lost last week, I would probably have had the Jets here. Because I think Mike White is going to be able to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't love Josh Allen in this game. I could see this just being a big old gross fest. My favorite part of this is the under. Over-under is 47.5. That's too many. That's too many points to me. That's too many points to me.
I would agree.
I had that off by 2 full points. Of which, just for posterity's sake, when my number is more than a field goal off of Vegas, I will bet the bejesus out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm virtually 85% of hitting those. This one's not quite that much, but it's close.
Did the Jets score in this game?
Yes. That's because we have Tom Brady 2.0. He always messed with Tom Brady always messed with the Bills.
I love how there's zero connection between these quarterbacks, but yeah.
Oh, there's 100% connection. You had a high draft pick that was the quarterback and got hurt, and this quarterback came in. We saw that they were the greatest quarterback that ever lived, and now they are long-term starter, unseating the high draft pick.
Yeah.
That's the similarity.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Mike White in this offense. And you got to remember with the Jets, you're coming off a really long layoff. You got 3 extra days after that Thursday night debacle. That defense looked tired against Indy. Mm-hmm. And I think that's moving this number. This is another one that I think they hit the number spot on the head. We had the same number. I had this at 12.
Okay.
I had this at 12. So
all right, the consensus number is 12. You can lay your wagers, by the way, and get a little bit of bonus money by going to betus.com, betus.com. Promo code Sportsocracy. When you make your deposit, they will give you a 125% deposit bonus, and they have this line at 13.
Yeah, and at 13, I probably like the Jets. The higher that gets, the more I like the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Johnson asked in the comments, will Michael Carter have another big check down game? Michael Carter is going to be an integral part of this offense. Michael Carter is doing exactly what I told you he would before the season started. He's just better than I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he would not be much of a factor in the first half of the season, and then you would start eschewing out Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson, and Michael Carter would be the guy.
Yeah.
And now Michael Carter is the guy.
He is
no
the
doubt.
Guy. Yeah. He is the guy moving forward. I like Buffalo to win handily in this one. I didn't even think twice.
I like Buffalo. I did think twice, but they've got this number so spot on. I'm taking Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And the under.
Yep. And I'm on the under as well. New Orleans and Tennessee. Tennessee Titans at home, coming off the win over the LA Rams. And they get the New Orleans Saints, who just got beat by the Atlanta Falcons. And they still don't have a quarterback. We still don't know who it's going to be, do we? They haven't said Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian.
I haven't heard it, and I have a funny feeling that it's going to be Taysom Hill. Just to call it a
hunch.
Mm-hmm. Always look to Vegas for truth serum.
Okay.
Explain to me in any shape, form, or fashion how this should be a 3-point spread with Trevor Siemian playing quarterback.
Oh, I can't do that.
And Alvin Kamara hadn't practiced in 2 days.
Mm-hmm. I can't do that. I don't know how they expect the New Orleans Saints to stay in this game. I don't know if it's still the absence of Derrick Henry that is warding people off of this, but that Tennessee Titans defense has been playing pretty good ball, and they have been forcing a lot of turnovers. They have 11 turnovers forced in their last 5 games. Kevin Byard has been unbelievable in the last few games. And I don't see how Tennessee doesn't win. They're not, okay, so they can't run the ball as well as they did with Derrick Henry. They have Adrian Peterson now. I don't need you to run the ball. I really don't. I think I can take advantage of your secondary. Not overwhelmingly, but I can do it enough to beat you by 7 at least.
Oh, yeah. This is the dumbest line of the week to me. With Kamara somewhere between questionable and doubtful, hasn't practiced all week, that's your best offensive weapon. Tennessee at home, to me, this is a dumb number.
Yeah.
This is a dumb number on the assumption that Taysom Hill is going to be the surprise starter. I just don't think it matters that much. Is Taysom Hill more of a problem for them than Trevor Siemian would be? Yes. But that's why this number's where this is.
Yeah.
I've been sitting around all week. I am in a fantasy league where I need a quarterback desperately. The only one I have that's not on a bye is Taysom Hill. I have yet to make a move because I'm pretty damn sure Taysom Hill's going to start this game.
That's a bold strategy.
It is. I've got a trade sitting there waiting, but I have to give up Trey Lance to get P.J. Walker, which is friggin' gross. Yeah. Here's the thing.
Right. Can't take the
league.
0.
It's a big league, and I need the win.
Yeah, you can't take the 0.
And there's only one guy that has multiple quarterbacks. So, hell, at this point, if he wanted James Robinson for him, I'd have to at least consider it.
Right.
I wouldn't do it, but
at that point, I think I'd just roll with Taysom Hill, put him in at the quarterback spot, and go. You know what? Trevor Siemian may be as bad. He might throw 3 interceptions in the first quarter, and here comes Taysom Hill for the rest of the game. I think I'd be willing to take that gamble over starting P.J. Walker.
I'm kind of there.
Right.
I'm kind of already there, to be really honest with you,
because I don't see the turnovers stopping.
I don't either. What is your take on the over/under?
What's the number?
The number in this game is 44.
Over.
I'm going under, and I don't think it's all that close. I think this could be disgusting.
Okay.
24-6. Something just got out. With no Kamara, there is nothing that scares you here.
You're
nothing.
Right. You're right. I think I'm going to go over. I don't really like it, but I will go over.
Dave Kyle, we're like an AA meeting for sports.
What's up, Dave?
He said, I love betting midseason games as good coaching staffs improve teams markedly and too many bettors lean too hard on recent games. Yep. There are a ton of lines this week that I'm looking at going, the only thing that explains that's last week. The only thing. The letdown for the Titans.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the Washington football team. Tampa Bay coming off a bye. I think Tom Brady, he's pretty good. Tom Brady's pretty good, and he's pretty good coming off a bye as well. 16-5 in his career.
That's the spiciest take you'll have all day. Tom Brady's good? No shit.
Yeah.
In other breaking news, today's Friday. Water's wet and the sky's fucking blue.
And I don't care what his weapons are. I don't care about Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski. Both of those guys seem to be weeks away from returning to this team. That's why they went out and got Brashad Perriman and Darren Fells. They're just, at this point, they're just putting Band-Aids on it until we can get to the playoffs. Because they know they're going to roll through the schedule, and this is another game. This is another game but they're playing for something here. Because everybody has looked back on that Washington playoff game from last year and going, oh, see, you're not really that good.
Your secondary is not that good. The problem is Taylor Heineke can't take advantage of that. So I'm not overly worried about it. The best assets you have are running backs out of the backfield.
Right.
You have the greatest cure-all to that in the league.
Right.
They're going to try to force the ball into Terry McLaurin. I get it. Washington's just completely listless. Oh, but this game's at home. I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care if they played this game on Saturn. It doesn't matter to me.
No, Buccaneers minus the 10. Over-under is?
51.
Under.
This is one that they missed by 3 full points. I will be heavy on the under of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Washington's going to contribute to that very much.
Yep. Detroit goes.
Hold on, before we get.
Okay, I'm just saying we're running out of time.
I know what time it is. Right. I got 6 clocks over here.
All right.
The thing about now, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry about that.
What was I going to say? Oh, the Tampa coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen? This is one of those numbers that I just don't think Vegas could set it as high as it needed to be set. There are probably not 6 teams in the NFL that are worse than the Washington football team, and Tampa Bay is one of the top 4, no matter what metric you look at.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, to me, is pretty easy. It's Tampa, and it's I don't really see a way that it doesn't go that way. And this is not like Miami last night. There are no extenuating circumstances. Everything is in Tampa's favor.
Right. The Detroit Lions go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, they got out to a big lead on the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. Almost lost the game. They lost the lead late, and then were able to rely on Ben Roethlisberger and that 1 minute and 46 seconds left on the clock to get down there to kick the field goal to win it. I don't think this is going to be as close.
There's one
Detroit's
question.
just not good.
There's one question you have to explain to me.
Okay.
If and I've heard a lot of, the Lions will keep this close. Explain to me how they are going to stop Najee Harris. This is the 4th worst run defense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't stopped anybody. And you think they're going to stop Najee Harris. He's my favorite DFS play of the week. He's going to be incredibly chalky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I do not give a flying rat's ass.
And they have found the greatest rookie 1-2 punch out of any team in the NFL. It's Najee Harris and Pat Fryermuth. Let Najee eat up the ground all the way down to the red zone, and then we're going to find Pat Fryermuth.
Pat Fryermuth is a phenomenal player.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one that if you watched our watched the pre-draft with us, we talked about Pat Fryermuth and Hunter Long a lot. Fryermuth was the first one to come on.
Yep.
Hunter Long will be, just give it time.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob Harris, R.I.P. Jacob Harris.
Pittsburgh minus the 9.
He's done for the year, if you're curious as to why I said that.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't die.
Pittsburgh minus the 9. It's easy for me.
I got the consensus is 8. Bet us it's 9, and I don't care either way. You're just not going to be able to stop Najee Harris. I think time of possession is going to be heavily in Pittsburgh's favor.
Yep.
I will go Pittsburgh minus the 8, 9 on Bet us, and I will go under the 42.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one that they missed aggressively. Patrick Holt asked in the comments, James Conner, Mike Williams, or Pat Fryermuth in the flex. I would go James Conner 1, Pat Fryermuth 2, Mike Williams a very distant 3rd. That would be my rankings for this week. I like Fryermuth a lot.
I don't know that I like James Conner as much against the Carolina Panthers, but
you should.
Okay.
It's schemed that way. Who's better defensively, San Francisco or Carolina?
Oh, I think
in San Francisco, it's not even fucking close. The fact you even had to think about that bothers me.
Really?
It's not even close.
Okay.
It's San Francisco by 6 miles.
I disagree.
I don't.
Okay.
Carolina's allowed less yardage.
Mm-hmm.
They played in just a bunch of sludge fests.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at their defense the last 4 weeks, it's not even close.
Right.
And San Francisco got blown out in one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I like San Francisco defensively better.
Okay. And that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I think I'm with Rob Johnson on this one. I would go with Mike Williams.
I'm not. You got one running back in that system. There is no Chase Edmonds.
Mm-hmm.
You have nowhere else to go.
Mm-hmm.
A running back is going to contribute for the Arizona Cardinals anytime they're on the field. Anytime. And then, when he's the only one. I have James Conner. Shit, where do I have him ranked this week? I have James Conner at 14 on the week.
That's pretty impressive.
A lot of it is he's the only running back, and they just scheme things out.
Right.
So,
okay. That is the next game, though. Carolina and Arizona. Arizona's an 11-point favorite on BetUs. BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get that 125% deposit bonus. It's 11 on the consensus, and we're both taking Arizona. P.J. Walker starts as everybody waits with bated breath to see Cam Newton return to the Carolina Panthers.
And now there's a report that they'll be using him in special packages this week.
CMC, he ran pretty well in his first week back from injury. Last week, he had, 106 total yards. And he has to be the focal point of the offense with P.J. Walker back there. I just don't know that you can hang. You can't hang with the Arizona Cardinals.
This is the biggest missed line by Vegas of the week. You have a bad quarterback on the road, knowing full well this is the only start he's going to get. Every player on this team knows he's not going to be the starter next week. This has you get absolutely demolished written all over it. I had this spread at 16. I saw this number and went, oh,
good.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
This is a kill spot to me. I won't be shocked if Carolina doesn't score.
Arizona's defense has been pretty good. When the only times that, and everybody has said, oh, well, they can be taken advantage of in the run game. How many times has that happened?
Well, here's the problem. When you get behind, you lose the ability to do that. They're going to get behind.
There have been 4 games this year where they have allowed big performances from running backs. And it was when the opposing team and the game script allowed them to run the ball.
And that's not going to happen.
No.
Because you can put 8 in the box with no fear.
Right.
How many quarterbacks in the NFL have been, according to PFF grade, been graded worse than P.J. Walker that have taken a snap this year?
I don't know.
It's 0. Not a soul that has taken a snap as a quarterback in the NFL has been graded worse than P.J. Walker. He's a 30. Do you know how many players in the NFL are graded worse than that? In the league, at any position. It's 6. And this is who you're trotting out as the starter. And this is, back to something I said yesterday, I'm not saying he's good. I don't think there's as big a difference between Cam Newton and him as people think there is. But he's not good. And this is going to be. This could get really bad.
Neither Kyler Murray nor DeAndre Hopkins have practiced this week, which leads me to believe they may not play.
I will almost promise you Colt McCoy starts this game. I see virtually no shot that he doesn't because they know.
Don't have to.
Nope.
You don't have to have him to beat this game.
You
to
don't
beat this team.
need him. You need him down the line. This is a game that you're going to win, really, in my opinion, no matter what happens.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who plays, doesn't matter who starts.
Shockingly enough, James Conner is leading the league in touchdowns.
Which is, okay, that's why fantasy football
He's
pisses
got
me
10
off.
rushing touchdowns on the season. So, I mean, he may be a fine play this week. Carolina's pretty good against the run. Well, I just don't see a whole lot of action in this game.
I am going over the number, though.
What is it?
44. I'm going over
I think I want to go under.
I'm going over the number. I think it backdoor covers late. I think I could see Arizona up 31-6, and Carolina punches in a late touchdown. Maybe somebody kicks a field goal. I don't have it much over that, but I think it will cover late.
That over-under is pretty low, but I think I'm going under. And, of course, Arizona minus the 11. Another 4 o'clock game. On Sunday, the Minnesota Vikings and the L.A. Chargers. This is in L.A., and I think this is a shootout game.
I do too. This is one of my favorite shootout games. If you're playing DFS this week, it is going to be hard to find games that are shootouts. Usually when the over-under say that means that you find 3 that are just out of fucking nowhere.
Right.
I don't think you have to think that hard on this one. This is going to be a very high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the Chargers to cover the 3.
There is one thing. I'm taking the Vikings for one very carnal reason.
Okay.
How in the fuck are you going to stop Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, whoever? Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to run the ball down your throat.
Agreed. But do you think Minnesota is going to be able to stop the Chargers?
Enough. I think it's enough. I don't know that Minnesota's going to punt in this game because this is the worst run defense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Dalvin Cook, who's coming off all of these personal issues, maybe got a little burr in his bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook's my favorite play of the week in all fantasy. He is my favorite play of the week.
Yep. He should be on paper, and I think he's going to do it on the field. The problem is I think the Chargers can take advantage.
The only thing that could impede him would be injury of some kind.
And what do they keep doing? What does Minnesota keep doing? They keep getting in these close games, and they can't close them out. They can't finish it off. It's the one thing that we had about the Chargers last year was they keep getting in these close games, and they can't win them. Well, guess what? They've shown several times this year we can be in those close games, and we can win them. We can come up with the clutch drive or whatever to put this baby to bed. I think it's more likely that this game pushes than anything.
I think it's entirely possible this game pushes, but that's not what I'm picking.
But I'll take the Chargers minus the 3. Herbert and Mike Williams have to find the deep ball again. They were so good at that the first few weeks of the season, and then Mike Williams disappeared. They did it once last week.
Number one rule of football, you control the clock, you control the game.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota will control the clock. They will control this game.
Okay.
The thing that I'm more on, over-under is 53.
Over.
Under. I do think this game will get shoot-outy.
Okay.
What happens when a team runs incessantly?
The clock
keeps moving.
Mm-hmm.
I am going under. I don't think it's by much, but I think they set this too high.
Okay.
And I think people are going to chase points because they're going to look at all these games and go, sweet God, I'm going under on everything. Mm-hmm. Something has to go over.
Mm-hmm. This is the game, though. This is the smart game to go over, in my opinion.
That is not necessarily the game I'm going over on.
Okay. Philadelphia?
That is. Could I be wrong on that?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you know how much of the money is on the over in that game?
72%.
You're too low.
89%.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm the more I'm saying this, the more aggressively I'm getting on the under.
Okay.
And I'm just going to tell you, that's a game people are going to stack for DFS, and I don't know that you should. There are a couple other ones that I'm not sure that I wouldn't use that to be contrarian, because this one's going to get stacked a lot.
Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is at the Denver Broncos.
Hey, speaking of a game that I'm not sure that I wouldn't want to stack for DFS purposes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Are you stacking the running backs? Because I couldn't see playing either of these quarterbacks.
Not sure. The quarterback is actually what I'm interested in. Jalen Hurts, because he has such a high floor. Jalen Hurts, in the way they're currently running offense, his floor is stupidly high.
Yeah.
And I just don't buy this defense. The linebacking core is not good. I think people are overvaluing Denver after last week. I mean, Denver's a 2.5-point favorite, and over half of the money is on Denver. And I think that is a horrid error in judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's in Denver. I don't care. I don't care where they play this game. I don't think this team's very good.
Neither of these teams can air the ball out. Neither of these teams can pass very well. Jalen Hurts, I could understand if you had to take a quarterback from this team in DFS, I can understand why it's Jalen Hurts. You would have to explain it to me on a really dumbed down level of why it would be Teddy Bridgewater if that's the way you were going.
Yeah, I don't like Teddy Bridgewater at all in this game.
But I think Philadelphia has found something. They've found something with this, we got 4 runners and we can just keep throwing different running plays at you. It's worked for the last few weeks, and I could see this being a major letdown for Denver.
I can too. There's part of me that doesn't think this game's even going to be close.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you think it could be a blowout?
I do. I do. I think it could be a blowout. Armchair commentary said I'm taking Philly in DFS. I'm not going to lie. That's one of the defenses I like because it's very underpriced.
It's not a bad play. Philadelphia plus the 2.5.
I'm all in on Philadelphia plus 2.5.
I'm getting points, and I think it's the better team. I mean, I'm really not sure about that, but I think the Eagles are in a good position to continue to run. Now, Denver can do the same. Melvin Gordon has been better than I thought he would be this year, and Javonte Williams has come around as the next-gen running back for this franchise.
Has basically passed him at this point.
But Melvin's been so good that they can just throw both of them at him. So this is going to be a game where the clock winds the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I would over-under on number of passes thrown combined between these two teams. I would set it at 30.
45.
Oh, I was going to set it at like 39.
That's too low on Denver. Denver will throw the ball 25-ish, 25 to 30 times, depending on how the outcome of this goes. Philadelphia's going to be in that 15 to 20 range.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
I'm way too low.
I'm telling you right now, if I could get that bad at a book, I'd bet my ability to have fun.
Well, this
for the
is
rest
why
of my
I don't set lines. I'm just looking at these two teams going, I don't know that either one of these quarterbacks is going to throw it more than 15, 20, 15, 16 times.
Well, and here's the other fun part of this, the other fun problem that I've had with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these defenses are reasonably good, and they're both good against the run.
Mm-hmm.
If you take one game away from Philadelphia, and I know what the stats bear out, but if you take one game away against the Dallas Cowboys, all of a sudden they're right there with Denver. I could see this being one of those games that we go into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a Javonte Williams and Boston Scott and Jordan Howard, and it winds up being Devontae Smith and Jerry Jeudy.
Right.
Because Darius Slay will be on Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
So I could see a path where I like more pieces of this than
what's the over-under?
46?
Under.
45 and a half.
I'm under.
I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over it. I don't know why. There's nothing really tells me that that's what I should do, but I'm going to.
Right.
Something has to go not according to plan this week. And there are a couple things that I picked coming into this that something has to not go according to plan. We had too much agreement. We had too much consensus. Something has to go awry.
Right.
And at least for me, one of the things that goes awry for you is this next game.
Seattle and Green Bay. The Seattle Seahawks going to the Green Bay Packers. Will he or won't he? Will Aaron Rodgers be able to play in this game? If he doesn't, I like Seattle. At least against the number. At least 3.5 to me would be too much. If you're telling me that Jordan Love's going to go out here and he's going to be the starting quarterback again, to me it's Seattle.
If you tell me that Jordan Love is going to be the starting quarterback in this game, I all of a sudden love every piece of that running game for the Green Bay Packers. Seattle's the worst defense in the NFL. Green Bay's going to do whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the difference from last week. First of all, this game's in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big damn difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's solely, I do not care who starts this game. If it's Aaron Rodgers, this is a stupid number. If it's Jordan Love, it's much less stupid, but I think it's much closer.
Mm-hmm.
They'll run the ball down their throat. And they will run the ball 45 times in this game if there is no Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I think there will be.
You think he will play?
I do.
Fuck it. I got to switch my pick. Because here's the thing. They will do anything and everything to make Aaron Rodgers play.
Pretty much.
They will do whatever they have to make sure that he clears protocol.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to clear protocol and say, screw it, I'm done. Because to me, Aaron Rodgers is, he's worth the 12 on his jersey to me. If you're looking at game spreads, I know there's no quarterback and no player in the world ever existed is worth that many points, but Aaron Rodgers to me is. He is that important to his team. He is the most valuable player in the NFL. We have already seen it. I have to switch my pick. I got to go with Green Bay.
Oh, it's happening in the comments that we should apparently do a series of Teach Tank DFS, which is really funny to me.
I don't know.
I am going to do a basics of gambling tonight. So I will be here doing high school football, which I've literally never done before. So if you're in the Asheville area and you want to hear somebody that not real comfortable talking about the topic they're talking about, I will be on I don't even know what stations I'm on. I have to defer to him of what station I'm even on.
ESPN Asheville?
Oh, is it? I thought they were on 570.
What?
No, you're on 570 with the basketball.
Yeah.
Or I thought the basketball was on ESPN.
Sometimes it goes back and forth. Depends on what
why
game.
it's so damn confusing.
Oh, you mean tonight?
Tonight
with the high school football. Okay, I was trying to figure out what the hell they were talking about in the comments when you
that you don't
when
know,
you said
that you don't know DFS things. That's what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't, and I don't try to play like I do.
So which network?
Oh, you will be on.
I'll be on 570.
Yes,
and you'll be on ESPN.
Yeah, you'll be on 570. I'll be in here doing basketball tonight with the Asheville Championship.
Oh, does that mean it means I'm looking at my computer?
No,
that's horseshit. I have all these wonderful computers in here, and I don't get to use any of them.
No, I will be in here tonight doing the Asheville Championship games. By the way, tickets still available if you're interested to go see some D1 basketball tonight or on Sunday. We got 2 games, and coming into town, Princeton, Western Kentucky, South Carolina, and Minnesota for the inaugural tournament. And, of course, we'll have all of the picks here all of the coverage here on ESPN Asheville both days.
That reminds me, since we're going to be down there today, there's a player that I wanted to know if he's playing in this.
Who? Oh, for the Asheville Championship?
Mm-hmm. No, you just keep going.
Just keep on going?
You just keep going.
All right, so we were talking about Green Bay and Seattle. Yeah, I got to audible. I got to audible this thing. Seattle's the wrong side to be on if Aaron Rodgers is playing.
I think he's the wrong side. I think they're the wrong side to be on regardless. 100%. Unequivocally, regardless. I don't care.
What's the over-under?
The over-under in this game is... Whoop, that's the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong logo. Over-under is 49.
Under.
I'm under. I'm under, and I'm aggressively under. Aggressively under.
Kansas City and Las Vegas. 8:20 start on Sunday night. Vegas is a 2.5-point dog.
And that is stupid.
I don't think it's stupid.
I think that is dumb.
Kansas City covers this game, in my opinion. I think they will continue to
explain that
get
to me.
Better and better as the season goes on. I have told you I think that Las Vegas is fool's gold. Yes, they have played good at times. At some point, this all turns around.
Who's the better team?
The better team? I think it's Vegas.
So I get the better team, and I'm at home, and I'm catching 2.5.
You get the more complete team.
No, I get the better team. Period.
Oh, I fully disagree.
Who's better
if you go
offensively?
weapon for weapon,
but you
Kansas
can't
City.
do that because they're not using weapon for weapon.
I just told you, you have the better team overall. Yes, I have the better weapons with Kansas City.
I have the better team at everything. I have the better offense. I have the better defense. Statistically, what do you want? They've proven to you they cannot do this. And so now you think they're going to go on the road and beat a markedly better team. Doesn't mean he sits and a markedly better team that's coming off a bad loss. That makes absolutely no sense to me. You can keep wishing in one hand and shitting in the other with the Kansas City Chiefs. It ain't happening. They don't have an audible. The one potential audible was Odell Beckham Jr. And he looked at it and went, nope. I'm good. There is no quarterback in the NFL that throws deep more often than Pat Mahomes. There's also no quarterback in the NFL that is less accurate throwing deep than Pat Mahomes. They don't have an audible. They are what they are. The line's not good. Max Crosby's going to eat them alive. I don't think this game's even really close, if you want me to be honest. I think they're going to embarrass them.
I do not.
The NFL has shown how to defend this team. 3 deep safety at all times. Never undo it. You can't beat me deep. You don't have anything else. You don't have a good route runner. You can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. So the one thing you have is, we can run Tyreek Hill on a little screen and get him the ball. Fine. I'm running 3 deep. Best you're going to get is 5 to 10 yards out of that.
Right.
You want to do that 100 times? More power to you. Travis Kelce, let him nest down right in the middle. Okay, again, playing 3 deep. The problem with his offense is if it was going to be fixed, it would have been fixed by now.
Been fixed by now.
They don't have any other weapons. This is why you've never seen a team that had 4 track stars playing receiver for them.
Right.
Because you don't have anybody that can consistently move the chains for you. When it's 3rd and 5 for Kansas City, where do you go?
Travis Kelce.
And everybody in the league knows that, because where else do you go? Who's the guy that can consistently get you 6 yards for the Kansas City Chiefs? They don't have one outside of Travis Kelce. So he ends up double covered on all of these. It's why he's so frustrated. It's why he's so visibly upset in every one of these games, and they can't run. You can't do any of the tenets of good offense, and your quarterback holds the ball exponentially too long. To me, this is one of the easiest games of the week to me.
Really?
Yes. Bad team on the road. I'm out. And I'm having to lay points. I'm out. To me, this is the Raiders, and it's not even all that close.
Okay. I still believe in the Magic. I still believe in Patrick Mahomes. I still believe in the weapons. I still believe in Andy Reid.
This is a team that against the worst special teams unit in the NFL, by a lot, the worst quarterback I've seen all year long put up 13 points. And you're still, that was at home, by the way, and you're still believing in that. I cannot wrap my head around that. I can't. There is no. And look, I'm a tangible guy. I have to see something. I project enough. I see. There's nothing here. There is absolutely nothing with this team that I look at and go, yeah, that's how they'll fix this.
Yeah.
I watch it on tape and go, this is what you are.
And you think Derek Carr is going to be able to take advantage of everything
Jordan
in that
Love
secondary?
Score points on this team.
I get it.
I don't care who they play. That's the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Them and the Seattle Seahawks are battling on a daily basis of who has the worst defense in the NFL.
Okay.
Jason Trump asked, what's the over-under for this game? It is 51.5, I believe. I think that's the number I just saw. 52. Went up to 52.
I do hate the Raiders.
You do hate the Raiders, and it shows.
That's fine. I mean, you want to believe in the Magic, you just lost to the Giants.
On the road.
I get it.
West Coast team coming east on the road at 1 o'clock.
I don't care.
That's happened for decades. Is it as drastic as people make it? No, but it's still a thing. And I got news for you. At this point, I'm not sure the Giants aren't every bit as good as the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not sure that they're not every bit as good. They're way more balanced. And they are exponentially better defensively.
Okay.
They asked about the over-under. It's 52. I'm going under.
Yeah.
I don't think Kansas City can score that many points. I just don't. There is nothing about this team that I like.
Okay. We shall see. I'm taking Kansas City on the road to cover the 2.5. I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer in the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry. That's the
torture ticket game. We've already without.
Okay.
That's the torture ticket game.
Okay.
Sunday Night Football. It makes all the sense in the world. And for me, I'm looking at it going, you're on the wrong side of this, brother.
All right, fair enough.
That's the only vehement disagreement we have.
Right. So. Aside from the first game of the season or first 2 games of the season, you've beaten bad teams. It doesn't make me believe in the Raiders at all.
See, and that argument is bizarre to me.
Okay, why?
Give me a
Is it
second, I'll tell
wrong?
you. Because who are the wins for the Kansas City Chiefs against?
Oh, I get it.
They've beaten the Browns, the Eagles, the Washington football team, the Giants, and the Packers with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've beaten bad teams. They beat the fucking Ravens. They
like
beat
I said,
the Steelers, who are better than any team I just said.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Broncos, who are better than any team I just said, and they beat the Eagles. The best win on Kansas City's schedule is the fourth best win for the Raiders. Easily.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument doesn't... See, to me, I think you want to shoehorn this into I hate the Raiders and I believe in the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, in my opinion, this is completely delusional. How many teams have you ever seen flip a script at mid-season? With there is nothing you could be looking at going, oh, that's what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
They had 250-something yards against the Packers with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been more than that. Now that I think about it, I said that out loud, and that didn't sound right after I said it.
It wasn't good. And
it was god awful. It's the worst game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I did miss it. I was too fucking high. They had 237 yards.
All right.
Yeah, this is a kill spot for me. I'm all over the Raiders.
All right.
I don't think this game's even vaguely close.
All right. And then the Monday Night Football game. Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are at home for this one, and the Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. We should see Von Miller make his debut. I don't think Odell's going to be able to play, or I don't think they'll throw him in there at all.
Won't play in this game.
But they're a team that is all in right now.
You know what?
San Francisco is just not good, in my opinion.
I want to take San Francisco so bad I can't stand it.
Why?
I want to take San Francisco so bad that I cannot stand it.
Why? What is San Francisco
You
going
remember
to be
that
able
thing
to
I
do?
said last night about Miami that every person I've talked to in the desert has said, hey, you should be on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the same shit about San Francisco, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. Miami, I at least understood.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, I could chalk that up to things. I can't chalk this up to shit.
No, it seems ridiculous. But I thought last night seemed ridiculous as well.
I don't think San Francisco is that much worse than the Rams are.
What?
Vegas agrees with me. Just so, where are the San Francisco 49ers in the Vegas rankings?
If it's any higher than 20, they're doing it wrong.
It's 15. They do this for a living, and they have gold fixtures for a reason. That's why I keep saying every week San Francisco is the hardest team for me to rank because I think they are exponentially better than they played. Where are the Rams?
8.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They're 8.
Like, of course they are. Because, and is it not like every other power ranking? There is a vast difference between the teams in the top 10 and the teams below them? I would think so. Do they quantify it that way? Mm-hmm. Do they give you an ability to see what the difference is? Because to me, sure, that makes sense. Okay, you got to, I think 15 might be a little too high for San Francisco, but still, there's a vast difference between those two teams.
There's one difference.
Okay.
It's Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's worth 6 points a game. Jimmy Garoppolo's worth 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only difference between these two teams. To Vegas. Because they equate Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel. They equate Robert Woods and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, you literally go down the line. They're the same team. Bosa and Darnold have the same.
Donald.
Bosa and Donald have the same. I don't know what that score is.
Mm-hmm.
It's an impact score, basically.
Okay.
The one thing that San Francisco or the Rams have that San Francisco doesn't is Jalen Ramsey. I'm still taking the Rams. I'm not going to flex this, but I just want it on camera that I said this because everything is telling me take San Francisco for no good fucking reason. But everything in a given week cannot go the right way. Mm-hmm. It can't. And
That's true.
Half of these games I look at and go, there is no way this is going the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sticking with the Rams. I just don't.
I don't see San Francisco's offense being able to take advantage against that defense. You add in the new piece, they'll get a little bump from the Von Miller acquisition, I guess I should say. To me, it's the Rams minus 3.5. And I really didn't think about it for a second. Of course, I'm just a San Francisco hater.
No, you're a Raiders hater. You're not San Francisco. You liked San Francisco for a long time.
I did, and then they played like dog shit for most of the year, and I went, okay, this is not a good team. I have tapped out.
The take on San Francisco is slightly confusing. Do you realize who they've lost to? Every team they've lost to, minus the Seahawks, would make the playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. 1, 2...
And I thought they could be the better of the playoff teams this year.
3 of those 4 losses are against division winners.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams are that too. I'm just telling you. San Francisco, and I don't have that sheet in front of me. It's around here somewhere. San Francisco is a team that I have coming on the second half. You know what? Fuck it. You have your derision here has convinced me. I'm taking San Francisco plus 3.5.
Okay.
You did it with one earlier.
Yep.
I'll do it with this one. San Francisco plus 3.5.
All right. We shall see. Of course, we'll have all of your fantasy tips coming up on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock this afternoon. We will not be streaming on YouTube. We just don't have the capability and the connections over at the over at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, set up for the live stream this afternoon. We will be live at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, for the kickoff of the Asheville Championship. So join us at 3 here on ESPN Asheville. And we'll be back with you on Sunday for all of your fantasy DFS plays and all of that. Of course, yes, he will do all of the DFS shit since I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I think he got sensitive right there.
No, I did. Everybody's like, oh, you need to teach Tank DFS. Yes, he does, because I've never claimed to be the DFS guy.
I'm good at gambling. I had to be good at something because I hadn't been able to pick a game dead in the Western. So none of us have. Fuck, we're all below 500. Every last one of us is below 500.
Yeah, I know.
One of us is aggressively below 500.
I'm just a little bit better than you are, so I'm okay.
Not by much.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's why I said by a little bit. Anyway, we will, of course, be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, and then join us back here live in the Wicked Weed studio on YouTube Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Until then, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We'll see you next time.